Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video and a unit I can actually test out. Of course, I didn't manage to pull either of the new units from Golden Week, but the EZA for the Fizz Transforming Piccolo is indeed here. Can't wait to try him out. His EZA looks very good. Unfortunately, do not have any of his 200% leads. Didn't manage to get enough coins, nor managed to pull Orange Piccolo. So for those of you who do have him, you are up right now. Even the strength Carnivuela Goku don't have him either, so we're gonna have to make do. He is currently being worked on in terms of link levels. As soon as I saw that he was getting an EZA, I started link leveling him immediately. He is also rainbowed, so there might be a 200% lead video, not 200% lead video, a level 10 links video very soon. But we're just gonna have to make do on a 170 lead. I did bring an Orange Piccolo friend, and he is actually on rotation with us immediately, but this will work out as a very good rotation. I know in terms of key and link up, doesn't look the best, but don't forget there's also the strength Piccolo as well, who does provide some support. And then the extra support if you're facing extreme class enemy, which unfortunately we're not. But it will work out very well, especially if you are running a full 200% lead team. But in terms of turn 1, we do have Namekians, Brainiacs, and Fierce Battle active. That key in his passive definitely is helping. You know, it's not the best, but the extra key +2 at the start of turn right now is helping. Definitely get more key and consistently launch super attacks for him. We're starting with a 308k attack stat, which is actually pretty good, and 174k defense, which is not too bad considering he's going to be stacking defense. And I can trigger shocking speed and experienced fighters because of the Goku and Vegeta right now, which would bump us up to 340 in terms of attack and 180k in terms of defense. But considering you're not really going to run them, I'm not going to have those links active. So let's give him these Fizz Orbs. We'll give Orange Piccolo these. Of course, the fact Orange Piccolo will give himself extra key as well also definitely does help out a lot. We're starting with 4.5 million attack stat. Now, one thing we're going to have to remember throughout this entire video is, of course, he's only getting half of a 200% lead, right? He's only getting the 200% lead from the friend Orange Piccolo and, of course, under the 170 lead with the strength Goku and Vegeta. So we're going to have to remember that. If you do have the 200% leads, of course, yours will perform a little bit of that, but we do have to remember that he isn't under a full 200% lead throughout this entire video. But considering he only has 3 links active there, 4.5 mil is not too bad. Not too bad. That's literally no SA effect, only the attack and defense plus 140 at the start of turn, and the additional attack and defense plus 40% when performing a super attack. But still, let's run through his details. Of course, as I already mentioned, and one of his biggest selling points is the fact that he can stack defense, which is very nice. He will cause immense damage with medium chance of stunning. That's handy where you can utilize it. Gets key +2, which is definitely helping immediately in terms of, helping him launch consistent super attacks off. Does get that key +2 at the start of turn. The attack and defense plus 140. The additional attack and defense plus 40% on super we already mentioned. And then he has that built-in additional attack, which has a 30% chance of becoming a super attack when HP is 77% or more at the start of turn. Now, considering the amount of bulky units you can surround himself with, literally the 2 other Piccolos and himself being very few examples, that shouldn't be too difficult to maintain. I still wish it was a 50% chance of becoming a super attack rather than a 30, considering his main kind of thing right now is stacking defense, and with how short content that Red Zone is and how difficult and how hard it can hit, even I'm not sure what it's called, but even the difficult content that comes out the 8th anniversary that JP will have and Global will get in a couple months at this point, it's not too far away when you're facing off against Shin. The amount of damage that comes out of that event is very quick right out the door. So it would have been nice if he just had a little bit more consistency in launching that additional super attack to help him stack a bit more. And this is another beautiful thing that I love. His active skill conditions are so good. These are one of those moments where the fact that, active skill conditions can't be changed in Dokkan right now doesn't matter. Because it can be activated when your HP is 70% or more with another Namekian category ally on the team starting from the 4th turn. This is how quick we get to transforming because of how good Piccolo units have been blessed recently. You're looking at the new one from Worldwide. You're looking at Orange Piccolo, the Strength Movie Heroes Piccolo. Yeah, his active skill conditions just got a whole lot better purely because Piccolo units are winning right now. Big fan of that. We do have the strength 1 on rotation, so he will be getting an extra bit of defense right now. We don't get the attacks, again, we're not facing an extreme class enemy, but of course that will help out in the likes of red zone and stuff like that. So our defense has gone up from 1 stack and the support to 255k defense. Do we get any more links with Strength Piccolo? We actually don't. We don't. But we do have the extra key +2 right now, which is great. So we'll give you these Fizz key spheres. Doesn't really matter what I give everyone else, but still it doesn't really matter because Orange Piccolo again does give himself key. But again, as I said, just to make his additional super attack a little bit more consistent, to help the stacking, things like that, I would have preferred if it was a 50% chance to super. Like, it's not that big of a buff. 3.5 mil crit though is actually pretty nice. It's not that much more consistent, but it's a little bit more consistent. It helps out that little bit more. And again, especially with red zone being shorter formed content that hits quite hard, aside from Broly, it would help him out quite a bit more. You know, I'm not saying he's going to be bad in red zone or anything like that. It just, you know, the consistency would have been a bit better. It would have been nicer. As I said, especially when it does come to red zone. That's my only qualm I think I have with this Piccolo. But then not only that, or more at the start of turn, of course, when it comes to the HP threshold of 77%, and then he recovers 7% HP whenever HP is 77% or less, and recovers an additional 7% HP if HP is 40% or less. The healing's okay. The healing's okay, you know, 7% isn't going to make that much of a difference, and it's only when your HP is 77% or less, which is very specific. Or the extra 7% when your HP is at 40% or less, which is very low and probably regions you don't really want to be getting to. You know, that's why you use Whis and items and things like that. So, in terms of HP recovery, it's nice that it's there, but it's kind of neither here nor there for me. And of course, one of the biggest things that this Piccolo has is the Scouter, which has no condition. Wait, actually no, I think it does have condition. Does it have a condition? No, it doesn't have a condition. It doesn't have a condition. And that's the beauty of it. So this Piccolo is now more than usable compared to what he used to be. He can stack defense, which is great. Yeah, again, I would have preferred if the, you know, the additional super was a bit more consistent. He links up with some fantastic units, because I said Piccolo units have been up this year, especially because of how good this guy is. You have Orange Piccolo in slot 1. Again, I unfortunately don't have a 200 lead for the Fizz Piccolo right now. You're running dual like Orange Piccolos if you do have him. Maybe Carnival Gokus, but dual Orange Piccolos being the main one. You put this guy in slot 1, put him in slot 2. It's a great rotation. Is it the best linking rotation? No. However, there's some decent support units in there on some of these teams. Again, I can't run them because of said categories they're on, and they don't fit on the ones we run now. Considering I'm missing Orange Piccolo, you know, it makes for such a good rotation. And then again, as I said, you also have the strength Movie Heroes Piccolo as well, which is another one that I'm talking about that has the support. He's a great unit. So yeah, I'm a big fan of what they've done with this EZA. We're only up to 279k defense in terms of stacking. It doesn't really matter how far we actually get with him. So I'm actually going to transform Piccolo already, even though we can get his defense up to further lengths. This guy's definitely going to shine in Broly. Next to Orange Piccolo, how good he is defensively and having type advantage, this guy is going to shine against Broly, getting to stack the entire time. Although the strength phase could catch him. But then you can foresee enemy super attack, which is huge. The fact you can do that with no condition is great. Honestly, it helps you just watch the back for the rest of your team. And this guy as well. Such a great ability to have. Still one of the strongest abilities in the game, having the Scouter. But this is an animation I haven't actually seen in a hot minute. So I actually want to see these. I haven't seen this animation in so long. It's actually crazy how much Dokkan animations have actually changed. But do you know what? It actually still looks quite alright. I'm not going to lie. It actually still looks pretty decent. It's not the flashiest. It doesn't do the most. But it actually still looks quite alright. So now we're going to have a few more links active. Because we now, of course, do have the name change just now with Kami, so we do actually link with this Piccolo. Funny enough, do we actually link better with this Piccolo? We actually do link better with that Piccolo. We're just missing Shocking Speed and Cold Judgment. So now we've triggered Z Fighters, Experience Fighters, and the other 3 links we already had active. We're up to 396k attack stat right now. Also on 193k defense. I'm pretty sure this Piccolo should have the same links. Pretty much the same links, no? It does have solid support and Gaze of Respect, whereas this Piccolo has Z Fighters. So, I mean, we wouldn't have the Z Fighter link active, but with it active, as I said, we're on 396, 291k defense. We put him back up with Orange Piccolo, 321k attack stat, 291k defense. I'm going to leave him with Orange Piccolo because obviously you're not going to be using this guy in harder content. But now that we transformed him, of course, we no longer stack. Not that it really matters here. But Piccolo now massively raises attack on Super by 100%. Dokkan decided to give him that extra 50% attack buff. As I said, Dokkan is loving Piccolo units right now, and I'm completely here for it. Of course, keeps the Scouter ability on top of it, or on top of everything else, which is great. And now he has a high chance of stunning the enemy. So we're up to a 5.8 million attack stat, which is pretty solid. Especially if he does hit an additional as well, because he will get a second 100% attack raise. Which he didn't. We did get a crit though, and there's another one, up to 6.5 million. So if we did hit the triple, that's 7.5 mil he would have got up to, but 3 attacks. One for 5.5 or 5.8, one for 6.5, one for 7.5. The amount of combined damage this Piccolo can do, because don't forget, he's an older unit. A lot of you probably have dupes in him. Combined with crits and an additional from the dupe system, not only is he going to be doing more damage because of that big 100% attack raise on Super, the combined amount of damage this guy can do while being as solid as he can be defensively and having one of the strongest abilities in the game, being the Scouter. This Piccolo is probably up there as one of the most valuable units in the game right now, especially if you do have Orange Piccolo. He is one of the most valuable units in the game. As I said, Piccolo units are receiving a whole lot of love this year, and I'm completely here for it. You know, we have one of the best extreme units in the game, being Piccolo Jr. LR Orange Piccolo is still one of the strongest units in the entire game in general, but one of the strongest LRs in the game. Movie Heroes Piccolo is up there as probably one of the best sidebanner units in the game, and also one of the stronger units in the game in general, which is fantastic. And then this guy is currently up there as probably, I don't know about the best, but probably up there as one of the best EZAs right now in the game. And what's the common denominator? They're all Piccolos. And they can all work very, very well together. It's just a shame I don't have Orange Piccolo. It's a shame I can't run the full 200% lead with him. It's a shame I can't run that rotation. I mean, I can, but it's a shame I don't have my own. If only I could have picked him up from my summons, but I'm a big fan of what they've done with this Piccolo, like a big fan. Now, the reason why I constantly avoid linking him up with units like this is because we're not going to have experienced fighters active, but you know what? I'm going to let this Piccolo have experienced fighters active. Give him a little bit more of an oomph. You know, we got up to a 354k attack stat. We got 300k defense right now as well. I'll avoid giving that Piccolo loads of key spheres. We'll give these to the Fizz one. And again, what you got to remember is he's only on half of a 200% lead right now because I don't have a 200% lead. 6.4 mil, again, massively raising his attack on Super. There's the possibility of additionals, which means his attack stat's only going to go up. Big 5.6 mil crit. Does have type advantage though. Unfortunately, we didn't get another one. But he's now getting key plus 3 and attack and defense plus 150 at the start of turn. He then has an additional attack and defense plus 50% when performing a super attack. He has damage reduction by 40%, which, again, the fact he's going to be stacking and then has 40% damage reduction is going to be great at helping him tank once he transforms and loses that stacking, which he's always had, which I completely forgot when I originally saw his details. He did always have that. But that's going to help him out, especially when you want to transform him, start doing a bit more damage. You know, when you've got his you know, defense to a pretty decent point, or where you're happy with it to transform him, start doing a bit more damage. But against the Broly, where he does have more time to stack, especially if those additional supers are popping off, eventually when you transform him, not only is his defense going to be like packed out, he's then going to have 40% damage reduction on top of that with a Scouter ability. Which, as I said, definitely makes him one of the strongest EZAs in the game. He just has a lot under his belt. He has a lot of versatility. As I said, he's stacking the entire time. He has the Scouter. He then keeps the Scouter. He's doing very good amounts of combined damage once he transforms. Again, has the Scouter, has 40% damage reduction on top of where you stacked his defense to. This Piccolo's got a whole lot going for him. And especially considering how good the other Piccolo units that surround him, again, Orange Piccolo being the main one, having that as a rotation, it's ridiculous. I mean, it just shows you also how much Dokkan has changed. You know, Piccolo units are currently kind of dominating a little bit. I won't lie. Piccolo units are kind of running the show on Dokkan right now. But we are linked up with the Strength Piccolo. We actually do get experienced fighters from him. See, now that you transform, you can actually also run him with him a little bit better. You do get that extra link active, which is pretty good. So, do you know what? For now, I'm actually going to have it linked up like this. And we are getting extra defense as well because of Piccolo's support and extra ki, or the strength Piccolo support. So we're up to 326k defense, which is nice. But not only that, now that he's transformed, he does launch an additional attack. There's a great chance to become a super attack, which is really nice. So you're more likely and more consistently going to be getting that double 100% attack raise before you consider dupes. But that is when the HP is at 77% or more at the start of turn, which again, when you consider the bulky units that are with this guy, including himself, that's not that difficult to do, really. And then not only that, he also has a chance for a critical hit plus 10% to 40% the more HP remaining, which again isn't too difficult to do. And on top of that, don't forget, Piccolo's still going to have a little bit of his healing in there. Again, it's not a lot, but it's better to have it rather than not. And he also recovers 10% HP now whenever HP is 77% or less, and recovers an additional 10% HP if HP is 40% or less. And of course, as I said, keeps one of the strongest abilities in the entire game, the Scouter ability. The fact he could just have that with no condition really is just generally insane. But it makes him so valuable. So valuable. And it's not even like he's valuable in one team either. You know, he is very valuable because of, again, a unit I'm missing, Orange Piccolo's leads, because of course he has the 170 lead for Battle of Wits, and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head. I think it might be Superheroes, or is that the additional? I can't remember. But all I know is you have Battle of Wits, and then of course, in fact, let me check it right now. What's the other lead with Orange Piccolo? Yeah, Superheroes. Superheroes, there are some of the best units in the game on Superheroes. So, of course, you can run Battle of Wits to get the Fizz Piccolo involved, get him on the Orange Piccolo's 200% lead, then run units like Godku and units like that on the Superheroes portion. That's a very strong team, and a very versatile team on top of that. So, it's looking good. So, he works well on the teams that he goes on. There's also Final Trump card. Don't forget, EZA Tech, or Tech VB, LRVB, is getting an EZA during the 8th anniversary. So Final Trump card, so it's still quite a solid category, I won't lie. You know, there's also Earthbred Fighters, Dokkan Fest Yamcha, the new Goku, the new Sidebanner Tien, the new Krillin. But the best bet with any of these categories is going to be where you can run him with Orange Piccolo. Or even the Strength Movie Heroes Piccolo, but Orange Piccolo being the main one. That is the best bet for him. That is going to be the best place for him. But yeah, this will be his final rotation. We do have him linked up with the other Strength Piccolo, giving us Z Fighters right now. So we're just under that 400k attack stat. Again, what you had to remember throughout this entire video is he's not under a full 200% lead. He's under half of one. So in terms of how he's performed, I am very impressed. I said my only qualm with this unit is 7.1. And again, he has a chance of launching an additional super attack, a 70% chance of doing that, and doing it again because I have him rainbowed. 8 mil. So if he gets another additional super, that's 9 mil. And I know it's not like the 10, 12 mils some of these other units do, but that's 7, 8, and just shy of 9 million combined. You know, he's done 7, 8, and almost 9 million in 3 separate super attacks, getting stronger each time. That combined amount of damage, especially if he's hitting crits, which of course he does have a combined 40% chance to do so, the greater HP remaining, and also the fact that I have dupes in him. This Piccolo can do a good amount of combined damage while being very solid defensively and having that fantastic ability of forcing enemy super attack with no conditions. I'm a big fan of this EZA. It's just such a shame I don't have the Orange Piccolo. But this guy has a whole lot going for it, or a whole lot going for him. I said so much versatility in terms of how much damage you can do combined when you transform him. It's not bad pre-transformation, but again, context doesn't have a 200% lead. Could you imagine if he was on a 200% lead right now? In fact, you don't even have to imagine. If you have him, you've seen it. When he's transformed, getting that 100% on super attack. The amount of damage he can do combined when he transforms is fantastic. Defensively, especially if you're stacking him, he could be great, especially with that 40% damage reduction once you transform him and when you transform him, or even if you need to do it early. As I said, the force the enemy super attack, built-in crit. He has a whole lot going for him, bruh, and a whole lot going for him. I'm a big fan of this guy. Very, very good. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and peace.